After seeing this panel, I was like, oh, he's dead. Just joking. Simu's gonna win. Hey there, y'all. This is Hades, and today we're gonna be discussing Ragnarok chapter 99. And yes, we are so close to the big 100. We are almost there, man. Next month, let's go, right? But yeah, oh boy, this chapter interesting. But I'll talk about the stuff I want to talk about, like Loki's whole that cloning thing, right? And then Simu's whole thing with the dog. Oh boy, like to me that was immediately like red flags. But I was like, okay, but hold on. But what about Loki? You know? So let's just dive right in, shall we? All right. So we cut to Heimdall above the arena, announcing that humanity and the gods are essentially just nearly tied, and that there's no more than what was it, 3 rounds, so it's all over. So yeah, it's close. It's freaking close. It's like it's a little too close for comfort, you know. But yes, then we see the arena. It's this massive, massive area, which is very, very curious that Loki let Simu have it. It's like you wouldn't expect Loki to do that unless Loki has a plan, which obviously he does. He obviously has a plan. What is it? He's gonna rely on all his tricks. Let's just say that he's gonna rely on all his tricks, all right? And we get Simu walking through the snow as Heimdall announces that Simu was a fighter from the Finnish army. He was incredibly powerful. He's the greatest sniper in human history, which I think is pretty true, right? I think he is confirmed to be the greatest sniper ever, which is interesting that when his sniper, he used just iron sights. He didn't use the scope. And when someone asked him, how are you so good at, shooting? And he said, a lot and a lot of practice. I mean, yeah, right? I didn't know that he was originally a farmer, which I guess makes sense if he lived out in the Finnish countryside. So that makes sense. And yeah, that he was able to hold off a Russian army all on his own, the Soviet Union at the time. And we get Simo just walking up to the barrier of the arena, and he says, "Odot, I'm sorry, I'm not going to try to speak Finnish." He says, "Wait," to his little dog, and he pets his dog, and he says, I'll be right back." And right there, I was like, "Oh freak, he's gonna die." But no, I think later on we get more like, I think hmm. Okay, we'll talk about the end of the video, right? But yes, when I saw this, I was like, "Oh, frick, is he gonna die? Like, is he gonna die?" Because that's literally one of the stereotypes of anime and manga. If a character says, especially to a dog or an animal, "I'll be back," they're not coming back. Dang it, I'm thinking he might die. But yeah, then apparently the gods recreated the Finnish forest. Like, well, the animals are robots. It turns out the gods, like, we know they were advanced, but like to this degree is insane. But I mean, yeah, of course, right? They're gods, right? I mean, Beelzebub on a lab by himself was able to create these creatures, you know? So I was like, okay, I mean, yeah, then we see Shiva's arms are back. So I was like, okay, yeah, they're able to bring back gods' bodies. Like, okay, I mean, so this should be, yeah, easy for them to do. So yes, the gods recreated the Finnish forest, and the animals that are there are essentially just cameras and microphones, so they can catch everything that's going on. I really, really hope that all this animals and everything here isn't gonna be gonna interrupt either Loki or Simu. Like they make a noise which causes them to go look at the animal. They shoot it and it's like a robot, and they're like, oh shoot, then one of the enemies attacks them from behind. Like I would hate that, but honestly, it's possible. It's really possible. I can see Loki doing it. I can see Simu tricking Loki into a bait like that. I can see them tricking each other. So we're gonna see, right? And then we get Loki arriving, and they said it's the Ride of the Valkyries, which, if you don't know, I believe it's a song that goes like we see in why in the world did I forget that movie's name? It's in many many military movies, especially the ones from Vietnam. Oh man, I can't remember it. It's I forgot. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's usually in Vietnam military movies when the soldiers are going by playing the speakers on the helicopters. I want to say, is it in We Were Soldiers? I don't know if it was in We Were Soldiers, but it's in another movie that I don't remember. I know for a fact it's in that movie. Oh man, it's about when they go down the river. They're looking for a commander that kind of left. Was it commander or captain? I'm sorry. Mario Brando is an actor in it. That's all I remember. Dang it, I'm so sorry. But then we get they announce that Loki, the evilest trickster in the world of the gods, and right here we get Brunhild saying Lord Loki. So that already tells me, okay, even though we know Brunhilde isn't a fan of Loki, she still has respect for him enough to call him Lord Loki. Now, why is that? I'm not sure, to be honest, but I believe we will see this in his flashback. I think when we get Loki, no, I know when we get Loki's flashback, we'll get all our answers that we need between him and Brunhilde, why he loves her so much, why he's so into her, and why I think. Okay, I'm gonna say I think there's a good chance Loki might not be fighting at 100%. I think Brunhilde used her intelligence to freaking play with Loki's mind and heart to get him to not be at his A game, to that way to give Simu a chance to be able to defeat Loki. I think that's what Brunhilde is doing. Just I was thinking that, but I was like, maybe not. But then after we see her saying Lord Loki, she does have respect for him. And when she told Loki, could you please lose? Not that it was disingenuous, her just trying to manipulate him. She was being like a genuine, like, not the fact that she wants him to die, for humanity, but I do think that Loki knows that she does care for him, but probably not in the way that he would want. But she does care for him in a way, as she refers to him as Lord Loki, that she is showing some form of respect, which is interesting for Brunhilde, because again, Brunhilde, we know she speaks her mind. Like, if she doesn't like you, she's gonna say it. She's gonna make it very obvious. And then we cut to the Greek gods, Ares, Hermes and Zeus was watching as they're talking, like, really, like, what in the world's Loki up to? And Zeus is like, well, regardless, whatever he's up to, no matter what fight or any situation Loki's in, he always comes out on top. He always comes out on top because he is essentially the faceless assassin. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, so is it possible this current Loki that we're seeing his look is that really probably not his real face? It probably is, but I think it'd be not neat, but it'd be like interesting and not too much of a surprise. Well, it would be a surprise, but it's like ish. Like, it really shouldn't. But like, if Loki, like this was just the image Loki wants to put up, but he has like another real face that's just not being shown. I think that would be interesting, but we'll see in the future. Probably not. But I was like, okay, faceless assassin. I'm assuming because he's a shapeshifter. And then we already see Simu having Loki right in his sights already. And right there, Loki has his horn, the same horn from freaking Heimdall when he announces the tournament. As he says, isn't this nostalgic? Isn't it similar to the hellish battlefield you were in? But don't worry, as he tosses the horn, as he's, it'll be over soon. And then right there, everyone's wondering, like, what in the world's going on? And he summons smoke, and we see he summoned Thor, Odin, and Hercules. Intense. I gotta say, freaking intense. I was like, what in the world? Like, obviously, it's not the real ones. It's obviously not the real ones, and I 100% believe they're nowhere near the strength of their original counterparts. I legit think they're either like just illusions that can't really do nothing. They're just there to fake it out, or they have like they're very, very, very weak and they can be taken out by one shot. We might see Loki pulling out other fighters from the humans, from the gods. Maybe we might see some coming from his past, like Siegfried or something like that. Who knows what Loki's going to be able to do? But I don't think these illusions are going to be like super powerful, like we know they're current, that they're based off of. And I already believe that Loki's hiding amongst one of them. I legit believe that, or he bolted somewhere else and he has these illusions right there in front of them, ready to fight. So I have no idea what's going on, and I don't think that the Loki that stayed behind is the real one. I think he's either amongst the clones or he bolted, used the smoke to get out of there. That's honestly what I believe. As he says, I feel bad for you. However, I can't. I can't. Then we see a close up of Brunhilde's face looking concerned. Interesting, riders. Interesting. As he says, I can't die yet. That's why you are the one dying, as he sends his minions to charge. Holy cow! I'm giving this chapter 9 out of 10. It's freaking insane. And I'm not going to say, oh, it's out of character for Loki to, for allow them to build the whole Finnish forest. It makes sense because Loki's a trickster. I legit think he's going to use that to his advantage. Probably, honestly, even more so than Simu, because Simu can't create clones. He's just a very, very good sniper that can shoot far away, and he's more than likely a crack shot up close. I don't doubt that one bit. But Loki being able to create clones, like, imagine if it was just an arena with just them two and no other objects. Simu, pat, 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 he's going to take out Loki like that. But in a forest, Loki has so much more to do. He has so much places to hide, to shapeshift. Like, honestly, he's probably gonna play the long end. This might be the longest round in all of Ragnarok. It could be, but yeah, I conclude that if you ask me who's gonna win, I am gonna say Simu, just because I think Loki is somewhat gonna be holding back. Probably not even intentionally, but emotionally holding back. Not because he killed for Simu or anything, but because of for Brunhilde. And I know he says he doesn't want to die, not yet, but he just had to be a simp, and he played himself when Brunhilde said go, can you fight next? And he's like, I was already gonna fight next. I already was gonna fight next. So hi, you're not telling me what to do. I was gonna do it anyways. He played himself. He freaking played himself. But yeah, that concludes my review. I really enjoyed it. Let me know who you guys think's gonna win. This is a very, very interesting fight, and I can't wait to see it, man. Next week. Oh boy. Anyway, y'all take care. Have a good one.